Hi there and welcome back to another video. Today it's Friday and I am going to tell you a tiny story. So Tiny is the name of a little cottontail bunny. And I wanted to tell her story because it's so special. And the thing is that outside our house here and around, in the garden, in the backyard, in the garden, and in the front of the house too, we have a lot of cottontail bunnies. Alfie is here too. He's just laying here relaxing while I'm telling this story, and we are having a coffee chat with you. Um, so, like I said, we have a lot of cottontail bunnies, and as you know, the mamas get babies often, and there are always a lot of little ones around. And we have a fenced in area right outside here for Alfie to be on. And the mom, the bunny mom, last spring, she was having her babies in my garden, and I was just stunned by that because it's so close to the house, and it's a part of it that's very close to the house, and it's just a few feet away when I walk out the door. And I was just stunned when I saw that, and I felt really honored, that she wanted to put her baby so close to us. And the mom was always very friendly and not scared, and wanted to stay close to us here. And when I saw her little nest there, and I was following it, following along, so to speak, as the weeks went by. And it felt so special, and I couldn't wait for these little ones to show up, when they come above ground, so to speak. And the thing is that one morning, very early in the morning, I think it was like 4:30 in the morning, I was up. For some reason, I was up really early that morning. And I was moving my curtains away a little bit on the screen door, and to just look outside, because the bunny mom, she was usually around, outside, and I always checked on her and what she was doing. And so, to my horror, I see a huge gray cat laying in one of the wooden chairs that I usually sit on out there. And he or she was just staring up at me in the window through the screen door. And I was staring back, and I thought, what are you doing here? I never seen it before. And I opened the door, and it took off really fast, and it jumped over the fence and just ran off, scared. I'm just going to have a sip of coffee or two. So, since it was so early in the morning, it was not totally, the sun wasn't totally up, but it was kind of light out, but still not daylight, so to speak. And I didn't have my glasses on, but I went out there anyway because I was so scared for the baby bunnies. I thought, my God, a cat, and he was so big. And I was just hoping that the cat wouldn't have found them. So I took a few steps forward, and I see this little baby bunny, just a few weeks old, laying there dead. And it was just horrible. And I didn't know how many babies there were in the nest from the beginning. It can be everything from 1 to a ton, a lot. And I thought, oh my goodness, the cat killed the baby, and he was laying there looking like he was just sleeping, but it wasn't. It was dead. And it was so awful. And then I had to look around because, like I said, I didn't know how many babies were in the nest to begin with. And as I was looking around in my yard, in my garden like this, I see one more, and I see another, and I see another, and my heart just dropped. It was just so awful. Now I know things like this happen. I know that animals eat each other. I know that. But it was just awful because I know that she put the babies close to our house because she felt some type of connection and feeling safe here with us. And like I said, my heart just dropped, and I had to take care of them, of course, the little ones. And then I saw one of them was half. So the cat killed all the babies and ate one half of a baby, and it was horrific. It was just horrific. They're so tiny, and they're so cute, and they are gonna start their little lives, and they must have been so scared because the cat is playing with them, and then yeah. So I went into the house a little bit to just take a breather and kind of think about what happened and try to process everything, and feeling really sad. And I was thinking about the mom because she leaves the babies, you know, at nighttime, and then she comes back in the daytime to give them her milk and to feed them and to check on them. So she wasn't there, and I didn't know if she saw anything, if she would have been experiencing this that she saw, and she couldn't do anything because she was scared of the cat. I don't know. But like I said, I went into the house, I took a breather. Alfie needed to go out to pee, and I took him out. And while he is standing out there peeing by closer to the fence, all of a sudden I see one little one sitting right by the fence that has been taken off from this area where the siblings were attacked by the cat, and managed to run to the fence and sitting there because the grass was a little bit taller there. So she was just sitting there scared, and she wasn't scared of me, and she wasn't scared of Alfie either. We didn't touch her, we didn't approach her too close. I was pretty close though, just to check so that she was okay, but I wanted to make sure that the cat was gone. And I went in and out of the house, and I was checking constantly on this little one until the sun was totally up, because I knew that in just a little bit the mom will come back, and she did. But then then the baby bunny wasn't there, and I was so worried. I thought, my goodness, what happened to the baby bunny now? But I mean, they're so small, and I didn't want to go out there and look for it and scare it, and make an ordeal again. So I took a chair, and I was sitting in my mudroom where we have the screen door, and I was sitting there, and I was watching the mom. I was talking to her. She was sitting there. She was checking the hole. The babies were not there, and it's just so devastating. And she was sitting by the nest, the hole there, and kind of waiting for them to come back. And I thought, oh, if the little one could just get out there and see the mom. And all of a sudden she started moving closer to our door, and the little one had been right behind our door. Somewhere there, I have some rocks and stuff laying there and some tall grass, and it was just running towards his mom. And I started crying. I was like, my goodness, you guys found each other. I was so happy to see them, that they found each other. And she started to groom the little one, and he was getting his food, his milk from her. And oh, it was just so wonderful. But what we did was that we put some netting, some chicken wire around the nest in this area, because I did not know if the little one wanted to go back in there, because all of the terrible things had happened. And but we did that, and took a bigger area around the nest and that, and we put chicken wire, and I did some openings for just the bunnies to be able to come in, but not big for a cat, and they stay there. The mom took off and she came back, like they do, but the little one stayed there. And I named her Tiny, and that's why she is special. And she lives outside here. I don't know if I see the mom anymore because there are many bunnies around, but I know Tiny. I know Tiny so well. And she is a smaller cottontail bunny. She's on the smaller side. And so she's outside here all the time. Sometimes she takes off, you know, and she's with her friends. And but the thing is that, bunnies, they take off so that they are gone, kind of like doing their thing in the nighttime, eating and playing with their friends and stuff like that. And but every morning early she comes back. She has made like a little hole in the ground, not too far in, but just a little bit. So, and she lays there, and she's laying so that I can peek on her. I can look at her through a window here. So, and she looks up at me. So I think that she can feel that safe feeling that I'm checking on her. I'm checking to see if she's okay. So wherever she is, she always comes back and she stays there. And she's used to us. She's used to Alfie. And, he thinks it's funny, with her. And he wants to play with her. And sometimes he is, galloping towards her, and she takes off, and she gets outside the fence, and she sits there, and she's, saying to him probably like, you can catch me, but he wouldn't hurt her. He has a heart of gold when it comes to other animals, and toads and frogs and everything. But so I just wanted to tell her story because she's so special to me and to us here. And also what is so special is that she stayed. So she didn't take off and felt like this place was just horrible for her and she took off. She stayed. So in my heart, I hope that she feels that she is safe here, that she knows that. And also another time, she knows exactly how to get in and out of the fence. She has her own little openings that she kind of made, where she goes in and out. And one time, I think it was around Christmas time, we got a lot of snow. It was so much snow. And when it really gets up there. And she was coming in the snow, and I always check, through the window to see if she's coming home and wherever she is, and if she's, around, if she can get food. They dig for the grass because the grass is still green underneath the snow. And so I was looking out exactly at the right time because the snow was so tall, and she went through her usual opening. But the thing must have been that the snow was so soft on the other side, like inside here. It was so soft right there. So when her little body went through the fence and she was reaching with her front paws down on the ground, the snow was so soft, so she couldn't get like support to kick herself through the fence. So she was hanging in the fence there, in the middle of her body. And I was looking at her right there. I came to the window and I was like, huh, Tiny is sitting stuck in the fence. And she looked at me like, can you help me? And of course, I didn't want to scare her. So I got out there and I was talking to her like I always do with a soft voice, and thinking to myself, if I'm walking, right in front of her towards her now, she's going to be so scared. So I decided to walk around the house and come behind her, talking to her all along. So I wouldn't startle her, so she would know that I'm coming behind her, which I did. And it was just fine. She accepted that and she didn't panic. And I had my winter soft winter gloves on, and I was like kneeling down in this tall snow, and I was just petting her a little bit, on her back and behind there, and telling her everything was going to be okay. And then I put my hands underneath her back legs so that she could push herself through the fence, which she did. And she did it so quickly. And then she just sat in, a couple of feet away, kind of like she wanted to say, well, thank you. And it was so cold out that day and that night. So I'm so glad that I was looking out. I was so relieved that I looked out at that moment when she was sitting there stuck in the fence, so that I could go out and help her. So, yeah, that is Tiny's story. And when I'm done talking here, I'm going to show you some videos of her, and you can see how she is on our doors down to the basement, old doors down to the basement. And she jumps up from the left side. She jumps up, and I'm filming this from my window. So she's jumping up, she sits there for just a little bit, few seconds. She stretches and she goes down, and goes out the fence, and she goes out to eat her grass. She sees her friends. She spends time under the trees, you know and that's how she usually spends her night. And then she comes back again. She comes back home, like I always say. So that is a Tiny story. And I'm so glad that you wanted to listen to this story, because it's so special to me. And if you love animals, and if you love wildlife, and you think that is special, I hope you enjoyed this story. And yeah, so like I said, it's Friday today, and I'm sitting here. I have some hyacinths here, and I'm going to the flowers here have died, so it's all done. So I'm going to remove those, and I'm going to keep my hyacinths in the roots in a little bit of water, and enjoy them green. And then I'm going to further take care of them, and keep them, and see if they could maybe be brought up again later on, and um, grow some more flowers, hopefully, in the future. So, anyway, thank you so much for this wonderful coffee chat. And I just saw my little lights coming on there. So, and I hope that you will have a wonderful Friday, and I hope that you will have a wonderful weekend, you and yours, you and your family, you and your friends. And please come back on Wednesday again, because then I will have another video coming out. So thank you so much for being here, and take good care. Bye. Do you want a blanket? Huh? You want a blankie? Hmm? So this is Tiny with her mom, and this is right after they found each other again, after the cat attacked all her siblings. And her mom is feeding her, so you can see Tiny there laying in the grass, being really tiny. And they're so happy that they found each other. And they're spending some time together here before her mom took off a little bit and get some rest. And I'm filming this right through my screen door window. And here is Tiny again by herself. Her mom thought that she was done feeding her. So she is exploring the tall grass and everything around her. And here is a picture of her when she's just a little bit older. And here is Tiny now, thriving, being so beautiful. This is what I see almost every day. I'm filming her through my window. And she's a part of our family. She's so gorgeous. And we love her so much. Beautiful, beautiful bunny. She's stretching a little bit. And then she's gonna go outside of the fence a little bit to eat some grass, be with her friends. There she goes.